Alright, hello and welcome back to another Acura TL Type S video. But this is not gonna be like a build video because I don't have anything yet. But this is more gonna be like a maintenance day, right now, because my maintenance light is on, as you can see, and at 312,000 miles it's time to do an oil change, and also I'm gonna do a transmission flush, and I'm gonna clean the solenoids. So quick update on my car. So it's been going pretty good. The brakes are still working pretty good. Everything's going good. I just recently did a tire rotation, because one of my tires that I have here, it's a same size as the other tire, but I believe it's a different kind of tire. So it was in the front and it had my car pulling to the left a little bit. So I just rotated the tires and put that tire to the back, and that fixed that issue. I'm gonna end up getting new tires eventually. These tires really suck. There's not a lot of good traction with these tires. But eventually, when I get my rims, I'm gonna get some really good tires, though. So I got all my stuff already set up. I got a drain pan that's gonna measure how much transmission fluid comes out. I got a new bucket. My old one was leaking, and this one is bigger, so I got a new bucket. I got my jacks out, and also another thing too. I was driving the other day, and a rock chipped my fog light. I mean, these fog lights have the original glass on them, so it was bound to happen. But I'm not really worried about them because my fog lights still work. So I'll just replace it whenever I get the car painted. But so I had it. I took this car on a drive for a bit to heat up the oil, heat up the transmission fluid, and so what I'm gonna end up doing is put the car on jacks, drain the oil, and at the same time I'm gonna drain the transmission fluid, and then I'm gonna have to take my battery out, unfortunately, which sucks because every time I take my battery out, my radio gets locked. It's like a Honda Acura thing. So I try to put the codes in, and the codes don't want to unlock the radio. And the trick that I had for that was find an underground parking lot or find a gas station to block the radio signal from the back window. And once I block that, then I can pop in the code and it'll activate my radio again. But taking my battery out because I have to take the starter out to get to the solenoids. And once I take everything out there, I'm just gonna clean that area and clean the solenoids. And I have like a gasket sealant that I'm gonna use to make sure that the O-rings don't leak. So let me start getting to work. I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, also, these pulleys are amazing. They actually definitely did something to my engine. Like, my car pulls a lot harder now because of these pulleys, which is what I wanted. But I highly recommend getting this pulley kit because that is like a really easy and pretty quick mod to do if you want to add some or release some more power coming out of your engine. Anyways, stay tuned. Alright, so I already got the car set up on jacks. I'm gonna end up taking this rim off so I could get to my my oil filter, but I'm gonna start by draining the transmission fluid first. So now that it's nice and hot and I had all the transmission fluid flowing, that's the first thing I'm gonna drain. Okay, so there's a drain plug right here. I got my ratchet on there, and I'm just gonna smack it, open it up, and turn this drain plug. Let's see how bad this fluid got. Hopefully not too bad. Oh yeah. Okay, so we got this you see on here, this comes like from the transmission. It's normal. That's normal wear right there. So if you see anything, if you ever do a transmission service and you see anything like this, as long as there's no chunks of fluid coming out, then you should be fine. It's just what comes from when the transmission's shifting. Transmissions are built for those things. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe the drain plug here, get all that debris off of the magnet. I got the fluid draining. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's still a little red, but I'm draining the fluid because I got a specific type of transmission fluid that should be better for this engine. It's from Redline. It's called, well, I'll show you guys. So with the first transmission flush, I use the regular type of transmission fluid that Honda recommends. But the thing with that transmission fluid, and something that I've been reading in the forums, is that for a car with this much mileage, this transmission already has some kind of wear. I mean, when I shift from third to four, it kind of hesitates to shift, which is the reason why I'm pulling out the solenoids to clean them. But apparently, as I was reading on the forums, Acura Zine to be exact, somebody said that this Type F racing fluid would solve that issue. They actually has more higher temp protection than the original fluid, and it's supposed to provide positive shifting and increased torque multiplication for automatic transmissions. So I'm gonna try this fluid out to see what happens. And what I'm gonna do is every 1,000 miles, I'm gonna drain the transmission fluid to fully get all this old oil out, and I'm gonna replace it with this and see what happens. So I got the transmission fluid draining, and it's time for me to start draining the oil. Before I do that, let me take this rim off. Hey, how's it going? All right, I'm back. Yeah, I just took the tire off, but one of my neighbors stopped by to say hello. I work on my neighbor's cars too, so I was just linking up with him just to see what's up with his car. But so I'm about to get ready to drain this oil. I got the tire off so that I could get to the oil filter easily. So let me get my ratchet. So typically These drain plugs for Hondas and Acuras, they're actually like 17 millimeter. But when I got this car, I guess somebody ended up putting a different drain plug in. So it's actually 18 millimeters for mine. It kind of bothers me, but it's not leaking, so I'm not worried about it. But eventually, I'm gonna replace it. All right. They might have. I'm just hoping that the previous owners didn't strip the oil pan, and that's the reason why they put a new drain plug in. But I mean, as long as it's not leaking, then it should be fine. Oh man, that's hot. Ooh. Okay, I got this draining now. Yeah, that oil was pretty dirty. I usually write down my maintenance intervals so that I don't go over. But this definitely needed. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Forgot to open the breather tube. The oil was about to leak all over the place. Alright, so now I have this draining, and I'm gonna go ahead and take off the oil filter. I got another oil filter, so every oil change, or at least every other oil change, you change your oil filter. So I just got the same oil filter. This is a K&N filter. I don't know if there's anything special with them, but I'm just gonna stick to the same brand. Okay, also gotta remove this cap too. Hold on a minute. Okay. So, I have this here. This is from Matco. It's an oil. I like this tool. It comes with different caps for different manufacturers, as you can see right here. And it's a universal funnel. It's really good thing to have when you're doing oil changes. It's something that makes it easy to do oil changes. So, okay. And then I also got this oil filter wrench. I had to end up getting a new one because the one I had didn't fit for my car. So I ended up getting a new one so that I could take this oil filter off. So, and that's what I'm gonna do for that. Got the new oil filter. Alright, hopefully this is not too big. And I think it is too big. Hold on a minute. I need to get this filter off. Alright. Yeah, I had to give the oil filter a little bit of convincing to come off, but now I got it off. Ooh, that thing was tight. I don't know why I do it like that. I guess it's better to be tight than to be loose. Definitely don't want no oil leaks. So I'll let that drain there. Alright, now I'll just let this sit here and drain while I start messing with the solenoids. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this battery out, and I'm gonna start taking the battery out. I'm gonna get the starter out and start pulling these solenoids, cleaning the surface of my transmission because it got dirty from my solenoids leaking. Well, one of my solenoids was leaking, so I'm gonna clean that up, so stay tuned. Okay, so I got the battery out, I got the starter out, and now, as you can see, I exposed both solenoids for 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So, I mean, it's apparent that they're leaking. So, I'm just gonna clean this area. And I got some of my old solenoids along with another new solenoid that I was using. And I was noticing a difference in the O-rings that the new solenoid had to the old solenoid. So basically, this is the new solenoid, and these are the O-rings that are on there. Well, I mean, if you take a look at this one, the O-rings look thicker, basically, on the older solenoid. So what I'm gonna end up doing is, I have one of the new solenoids in there already. So I'm just going to take the new solenoid out and replace the O-rings that are on it with these, and then put this stuff on there. It's a gasket sealer and gasket maker, that's what I call it, and it should be able to seal these solenoids better. Alright, so now it's time for me to start cleaning, and I'll be back when, and to show you that everything's clean. Alright, I'm back. So far I've cleaned the solenoids. I added this gasket sealant on there, plug the solenoids back in, so now the solenoids are good. And while I was editing my video, I also put my new oil filter in and the drain plug, so that's good. So now I just gotta put the tire back on, and then I'm gonna put the drain plug on the transmission from the transmission side, since it stopped draining. I'm gonna put the filter, the plug on this side, drop the car, and start filling up the oils. There's the bolt that you have to take off so that you could fill up the transmission. So the last time I did it, I actually made a funnel and I filled it up from the dipstick, but this time I'm going to take that bolt out so I could do it a lot quicker. Alright, so far I put oil in the engine, and so now the oil is good. I just gotta check it, and now I'm gonna put transmission fluid in the transmission. So I gotta go ahead and crank this bolt here so that I could fill it up, but I have everything on now. I got the starter back on and the battery, and so this is the only thing I have to do. Then after that, turn it on, wait till the transmission gets hot, and check the transmission fluid. Which, by the way, every other car you can check the transmission fluid with the engine running, but with Hondas and Acuras, if anybody doesn't know, you have to turn the car off, and within 15 about like a minute, I guess, is the time window to check the transmission fluid while the car is off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off, take the bolt off, fill it up with some transmission fluid. I got the old fluid here and I have it measured out, so it's basically 3 quarts. I'm gonna fill it up with 3 quarts of this fluid, start it, and check it. Alright, so stay tuned. Alright, let me wipe my camera. I got some oil on it. But now, got the car started right now. So I'm letting it run for a little bit. I'm cycling through the transmission gears to get the fluid mixing up and flowing in there. So I filled it up, but I haven't checked it yet. So I'm waiting for the fans to turn on so that I can properly check it. Hopefully I got it right the first time. This bottle didn't have anything to measure with, so I just kind of eyeballed how much to put in. So hopefully I got it on the mark. But if I didn't, then I'll have to basically go from there. Alright, so I just finished checking the oil, and it was a little low, so I added about half a quart extra, so about 3.5 quarts. So now I'm just gonna let it run for a little bit, take it on a drive, and that's all for the maintenance for this car. And I'll have to, so next time I'm just gonna end up doing an oil change, because now I got the transmission. The transmission should be good now, so especially with this racing fluid. Hopefully this makes a difference. But that'll be all for today's video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you for watching my videos. I'm a beginner at all of this, but you know, I just like to, you know, spread my knowledge, and hopefully somebody that's watching this is learning something today. Anyways, have a good day, everybody, and see you next time.